The Leadership in Law podcast is powered by Law Marketing Zone. Transform your firm's digital presence with expert marketing solutions tailored exclusively for attorneys at lawmarketingzone.com.
Welcome to the Leadership in Law podcast with host Marilyn Jenkins. Cut through the noise, get actionable insights and inspiring stories delivered straight to your ears. Your ultimate podcast for navigating the ever-changing world of law firm ownership. In each episode, we dive deep into the critical topics that matter most to you, from unlocking explosive growth to building a thriving team. We connect you with successful firm leaders and industry experts who share their proven strategies and hard-won wisdom. So, whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting your journey as a law firm owner, the Leadership in Law podcast is here to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to build a successful and fulfilling legal practice.
Welcome to another episode of the Leadership in Law podcast. I'm your host, Marilyn Jenkins. Please join me in welcoming my guest, Ted DeBettencourt, to the show today. Ted is a third-generation Martha's Vineyard native who has been in legal marketing for 12 years after having earned a JD-MBA from Case Western Reserve. Before starting Juvo Leads in 2015, he ran a legal marketing agency in Boston, helping law firms grow through online efforts like SEO and PPC. Ted was using the existing chat companies on the market, but didn't like how they were answering his clients' chats, so he fired them and started answering the chats himself. What started as one person answering chats for a few small firms in Boston has turned into a team of a little under 100 chat agents answering chats for about 1,100 firms around the country. I'm excited to have you here, Ted. Welcome.
Thanks, Marilyn. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. I would love to hear your journey of how you got to where you are.
Sure. My journey started, born and raised Martha's Vineyard, third-generation Islander. After high school, I realized there weren't a lot of jobs on the island outside of tourism and fishing. And I got sick in boats, so I knew the fishing wasn't an option for me. So went to college. Then after college, I was on the debate team and had a lot of fun with that. So I thought, oh, law's next. So went to law school. Midway through law school, I'm like, I don't like this at all. And I'm already $100,000 in debt at that point. But they had a business program, so I could get my MBA in 2 years. So just tack it on to the 3. So it was after 3 years, I got a case with JD and MBA. And wanted to focus in business. Floundered around, if I'm being honest, for a few years, but then found my niche in the marketing space. Was working for an agency doing content SEO up in Boston. And then they weren't really doing it all that great. So I was kind of spread really thin across a lot of clients. But what if I take this idea and just handle a lot of SEO for a few clients? So I spun out on my own, got a few law firm clients utilizing that law firm background or that legal background. Got pretty good in the SEO game. Was doing that. And then I started, just like you said, I was using different platforms and products. I was using CallRail to track my calls and doing what everyone's doing now. And then my clients started getting hit up by the different chat companies. And I liked what they were doing, but my clients kept complaining. So they kept saying, hey, Ted, these chat leads, they're too far away. They're the wrong state. They're not asking the questions I ask them. So I would yell at the chat companies because it was like my behind on the line here, Marilyn. They were saying like, oh, hey, Ted, we'll make those changes. And they didn't do it. My clients were getting frustrated at me because I was the middleman there. And I said, all right, well, you're fired. So I started answering chats myself. And it was pretty tough. Chats would come in all hours of the day. I'd be in a meeting and I was like, all right, how do I handle this? So I hired a few people on my SEO company to do that. And then when I got the tracking down, I was like, all right, when we were doing chats before with this other company, we're getting X number of leads. And then as soon as I customized the chat and made sure every chat was answered like in 12 seconds or less, we got about 50% at least more chats for each client. So I was like, all right, I'm on to something here. So it started as me answering chats, just banging away on the keyboard when they came in 24/7, which my fiance, now wife at the time, wasn't thrilled with. It was tough to do, but I'm like, all right, I'm on to something. So it started as me answering chats for 5-10 clients in Boston, has now turned into us answering chats for about 1,100 firms around the country. And we work with the really big firms because we always make a big claim that we say you're going to get 50% more leads. So what we do is we give everyone a free 30-day trial so they can see the data up front, because you can't say you're going to get 50% more leads and then not do it. So give them that free 30-day trial to prove it. And it's been a staple of our business since we started.
Wow, that's incredible. And so you have a team that is 24/7, obviously, and catching the chats around the clock. And
Mhm.
are they like connected to the CRM of the client? And so they're booking on their calendar straight from it. So they're literally getting qualified leads from their chat.
Yeah. And our big thing is we qualify them based on the rules that the firm gives us. So every firm's different. Maybe a firm in Ohio only wants leads from Toledo. So, we'll book them only in Toledo. So it's very customized chat. We didn't even realize this at the time, but when the other chat companies tell me, yeah, we'll customize those rules. There are one of the biggest companies out there still, I won't say their name, but they don't even customize the script. It's always the same script for the firms. We're like, you can't really do that. So we take it a little bit step further. So it's customized rules for each firm. And then we can send them the leads via email. We can call them. We can send it to their CRM. We can book consultations. We can even sign retainers right through chat. So however they want us, however far they let us take that lead, we'll do it for them.
Wow, that's incredible. Is there any specific practice area that this works best for?
Sure. All the major consumer-facing ones: personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, Social Security, disability, estate planning. That probably represents about 90% of our clients.
Excellent. And do you find that, and I'm sure you have the data somewhere, do you find there's a certain time of day that you get better leads?
Yeah, during the day, for sure. The crazies come out at night. We answer them as respectfully as we do the non-crazies. Everyone that wants to sue the government and send 10-paragraph questions and answers through chat, those are usually the ones that come at 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And so are you doing a chat bubble? Are you connected to their lead form? Tell us about your lead capture for law firms.
Sure. There's a few different tools we have at our disposal. So the primary thing that we do is chat. So what that means is we pop up on the website. We either play a video of the law firm owner saying who they are, how they help. Then as soon as you click a button, a real person takes over. Or we just pop up with a person saying, hi, I'm Bill. How can I help you today? So that's method one. Method two is we answer text messages. So on the mobile website, we put a little text us. Message three is we answer local service ads. So in the local services, there's two calls to action. There's a phone call and there's a message component. So we don't touch the phone calls, but we'll answer the LSA messages. And what's the fourth one? Oh, GBP messages. Just about 6 months now, in January of 8 months ago now, GBP, the Google Business Profile, they have a new call to action in there called chat. So we can answer those messages as well. So that's our core offering. For about 40% of our clients, we also follow up with form submits. So let's say someone fills out a form on their website. So maybe they just say, hey, I need a lawyer. Okay, what does that mean? So we'll send them a text message. Hey, Bill, heard you're looking for a lawyer. Tell me about what happened. Okay, you were in a car accident. Where did it happen? When did it happen? And we can take that form submit through all the way through a signed retainer for them if they want.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, so the LSAs, I know that, so you don't take the direct phone calls. So anything that's text, and of course, everybody loves texting now instead of actually getting on the phone. So you can handle all of that. What's the build out time if someone wants to get that? Because I've seen the chat where you go to a website and then the attorney's talking and you just need to turn your volume on but the chat is right there. And that's really impressive.
Yeah, the video really helps on a conversion perspective. And it helps on the continuity. So let's say they see the billboard ad, they see a TV ad of the attorney, and then they see that same picture, that same face on the chat. It's going to increase the likelihood of a chat start. So it's done wonders for our conversion numbers for our clients.
That's fantastic. You just have them record with their phone, the welcome video kind of thing for simple. So I know
Exactly.
attorneys don't like to do video.
They don't. And we try to make it as easy as possible for them. So we write a short script for them and basically say, sit in front of a camera. A Zoom is fine. So we've had teams that have done $10,000 video shoots and they look great. It doesn't do much to change conversion ratios. So like we've had really big famous law firms just sit in front of a Zoom and give me a 12, 15 second clip of who they are and how they help clients. And those convert just as well. So like the really fancy videos look great. They don't do a ton more from a conversion perspective. Clients want to see that lawyer and humanize them. So just sit in front of a camera like you and I are doing now is perfectly fine.
That's great. That's good to know. That's the one thing that we try to coach clients with is just talk through the camera to the potential client. Don't get worried. You're not giving an opinion. Just tell them who you are. And that's right. It's the know and trust. And I love the idea of the continuity of the messaging and the visuals because obviously their pictures on the homepage and there they are sitting in the corner talking. So very nice.
Yeah.
And you answering it like in 12 seconds. What seriously? You're catching?
Yeah. Yeah. So what we do is, to ensure that every chat that comes in, so we have our chat team, but we also have our QA team. So literally every chat that comes in is graded on a 12-point scale. And our agents are hired, fired, promoted, demoted, scored, and bonused based on how fast they answer chats and how well they follow the rules for the given firm and how empathetic they are to the given chatter. So we really want to stress that human element. 62% of our chats start with a question. So it's not someone saying, "Hi, I need a lawyer." They come and say, "Here's what happened. You think I have a case?" So usually if it's personal injury, it's, "I was in a car accident. Here's what happened. Can you help me?" So we want to lead with humanness. "Oh, I'm very sorry that happened. I can't believe what you're going through. That sounds horrible." Just so you know, you're in the right place. So we want to build that trust, build that rapport. And then once we've done that, then we get into the qualification rules. So just building that human element, that rapport, really goes a long way to kind of increase the likelihood of that prospect turning into a signed retainer for that firm.
Hey, lawyers, are you losing cases to firms online that aren't even better attorneys than you? They're just better at marketing? Most law firms are nearly invisible online. If you're not showing up in the Google Map pack, if your ads aren't converting, or if you're constantly waiting on referrals, you're leaving money on the table. At Law Marketing Zone, we've helped clients go from 0 to over 20 cases a month. And we put our top strategies into a quick, free checklist, the Law Firm Marketing Fix. 10 ways to stop losing clients online. Download it right now for free. You'll discover the biggest mistakes most firms are making and how to fix them fast. Then, if you're ready, book a free strategy call and we'll walk through the gaps in your current marketing. Don't wait for referrals. Start attracting your ideal clients today. Click to get the checklist now. That's fantastic, because it's the big thing we're hearing all over the place for as far as tech goes is these AI chatbots. And I like the idea that you're going overboard to be that empathetic and making sure they know it's a human. Because I'll tell you, sometimes when I'm chatting, it's hard to tell until you ask that right question. And I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question. Well, if you were human, you would.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And we're seeing a rise of people, two things, saying like, "Is this real human?" And we've tried 1.5 million different responses. Now the most common one is, "I'm a human, I promise. Feel free to ask any questions." We've gone down the rabbit hole of, "Ask me a question a robot wouldn't know." And then it's a 10-minute conversation of them trying to test us. And they're like, "There's no way to prove it. We just have to say we're human." And then we have more people questions, because sometimes they'll think, like, when they start, they're like, "Tell me the recipe for a cake." And we're like, "We're not a cake. We're not a bakery. We're a law firm." So it's like, we know that they're testing to see if we give like a GPT response, and it's not. It's always a person.
Oh, that's hilarious. Give me a recipe. It's like the guy who tried to get a Ford, what was it, F-150 for $1 from an auto dealership. Did you see that? Yeah. It was
worth a shot.
Yeah. I mean, he even had the bot turn around and say, "This is a legal agreement."
I do that for $1. Shoot, I should try that myself.
Yeah. That was crazy. And so tell me a bit about how it works specifically. If I'm a law firm and I'm like, okay, I know I'm missing traffic. I know I'm missing chats. You see the texts come in. We've got chat bubbles for some of our clients, but they're real-time chats, real-time SMS, but you need to get back to them, and usually it's on SMS. So What's the setup? How does yours work? And because it sounds like yours is such a much better process.
Hey, we refined it over the years. So now basically the process is we meet with a client, show them how it works, and say, "Hey, you want to try this free for 30 days? Because we make that bold claim, you're going to get 50% more leads. And we say 50, it's usually, if they're not using chat, that's an easy 80% win for them. If they're using chat, it's generally about 50%. So we A/B test the heck out of all our competitors all the time. So our number one gain of clients is, "Oh, you're using chat? You want more? All right, A/B test us." And we say up front, "Hey, we'll A/B test you. You give us permission to share the data, win or lose." And we say that because we always win. So we didn't always first win. We've A/B tested years ago. We lost a few A/B tests, figured out why we lost, got ourselves better. And nowadays we win every test we A/B test against. So how it works is they go on the meeting. We offer them a free trial. They sign up. We write chat scripts we think they want based on the conversation we had in the initial meeting, and then the information on the website. And then 2 to 3 days later, we present it to them. Say, "Here's what we got." They say, "Looks good. Change this around. Use this phrase, not that phrase." We say, "All right." We give them the code. We get the integration set up. Then we're live for 30 days. We check in on day 1, 2, 15, and then day 30. We sit down in a Zoom and basically say, "Here are the leads we sent you. How did it compare to the other chat company? How did it compare to last month? How many retainers did you sign? What do you think?" And if they like us to move forward, if they don't, they walk away and they've spent $0. So we have a 97% continuation rate after the free trial. So we just want a 30-day free trial to prove to them how effective chat can be for them.
It's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. And how long does it take to get the code installed or get up and running, I should say?
If we have a meeting on a Monday, we're usually live by about Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this sounds like an absolute no-brainer for anyone that's looking to improve their website conversions for that. I love that. And so when it comes to intake, let's talk about that. So your team they're not paralegals. They're literally like your regular intake office, front office person. Are they specifically trained? I'm thinking about your team, that kind of thing. What are you doing for that and getting them up to speed to a specific law firm?
Sure. It takes about for every chat agent we've hired, we've probably interviewed about 80 candidates. So we have a lot of candidates we go through. So we're always looking for three main things: empathy, speed, and ability to follow instructions. So we do a lot of tests beforehand. And then once we hire an agent, it takes them about 3 months to get full time. So we're always hiring for the future, just because we want to make sure when they hit the chats and they're live, they're well trained. So it takes about 2 months to learn chat in general, and then a month to learn each specific practice area down to the minutia of how they want specific chat answered. No two law firms are the same, so we want to make sure we get sufficient training on each and every one. Most PI firms are generally the same, but there's all nuance to how they want leads, either categorizations they want us to apply, or different phrases they use, or maybe they want all leads in Ohio, but if it meets a different criteria, then they want us to sign a retainer. So we got to make sure we have our team fully trained on that, but about 3 months to get an agent fully live.
Wow, that's impressive. And are most of your agents in the U.S.?
We have a mixed team. So our teams are in the U.S. and the Philippines. All team members, regardless of where they are, the same rules apply, the same scoring applies, and the same bonus structure applies. So it's a mixed bag, but there's no difference in scoring between our team members in the U.S. and the team members in the Philippines. The main reason we have team members in the U.S., to be quite honest, is the Spanish language. So we're English and Spanish, but it's a lot easier to find Spanish speakers in the U.S., which is odd, but just for us, it's been how we do it.
I love that. I love that. And what do you see as the next step in the evolution of chat? If your butts, not bots. I love that you say that. So what do you see as the next big thing?
Sure. LSA is going to continue to get bigger and bigger. So adapting to that. The next phase we're seeing is as soon as the AI rolls out or the AI search result where it shows like AI answers, they're going to eventually have ads in there. Those ads, as Google moves more and more towards messages, Google discovered something not from themselves, but there was a few other companies in the home service businesses. And what they do is they would take a lead and they'd sell it 3 or 4 times. And they just say, all right, whatever business gets a hold of that lead fast gets it. And it worked out great for them because they're taking a lead and selling it 4 times. And then Google started doing the same thing with those LSAs. Because what a lot of people don't know about LSA messages, as soon as you submit an LSA message, Google takes Google prompts that user to send that same message to 3 other firms. So now instead of one message going to one firm, they're taking one message and sending it to 4 firms. So that's a huge win for Google. They just quadrupled their revenue from at the expense of law firms. So what that means is for LSA messages in particular, whoever firm gets in touch with that lead first wins. Everyone else is paying for it. So if you're slow to respond to those messages, you're paying a lot and you're not getting a lot in return because you're not even getting on hold of them. So one of the biggest growth factors for us is the LSA messages. We get firms on the phone with these LSA messages before anybody else. It gives them a clear market advantage. But what we discovered is since Google's making quadruple the money on LSA messages, they're going to take that same learnings and apply it to other ad streams of revenue for them. So as soon as AI ads come out, and we heard they're always working on it, we've already heard rumors that they're getting released in some markets, that as soon as they put a message component in, that message component is going to be rolled out the same way. I doubt it's going to go to one where they can send the same message to multiple firms. So as soon as we're able to answer those, we'll be able to, as soon as they release those, we'll be answering those messages for firms as well.
Yeah, I'm in a network that has quite a few home services agencies in it, and they're all running LSAs, and LSAs are fabulous. If they're available in your area and you're not doing it, you should look into it. But the message thing was noticed about 6 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sneaky. And we didn't even realize it was happening. I got a call from a client and he was like, hey, Ted, I appreciate this lead, but you're going to get me sued. I'm like, why? He's like, you stole it from another firm. No, we didn't. So I looked at him like panicking, like, all right, what firm?
What went wrong?
What went wrong? He told us the firm, like, all right, we're not answering those chats. All our chats or messages are for the firm alone we're answering them for. So we're like, no, this came in from you, or what's going on? So then we backtracked how the lead came in. And that's when we discovered it. We're like, oh, look what LSA is doing now. They're being sneaky. So the user submitted a message to one of his competitors. We saved the message, called the firm, got him on the phone with them. Because we beat our client to that message, the user didn't even realize they clicked that little button to send that lead to 3 other firms. So my firm was one of the 3 other firms. They beat him to the lead because we're fastest in the market, but the prospect didn't realize it. So I got that same call from about 2 other firms in the same week. So we were like in a panic, but then we discovered it. We're like, oh, we didn't steal anything. We just gave you a distinct advantage by getting them on the phone first. So it ended up being a win, but it was quite scary when it happened. We're like, uh-oh, what's going on here? But
That's a total panic. How did that happen? You just first go, okay, what broke
Yeah.
in the system? Yeah.
The funny thing is LSA breaks all the time. So how we do it is we manually log into the LSA accounts, because at first it has an SMS notification, but that will randomly go down. Like in earlier in the year, there was a 5-day span where no email notifications and no SMS notifications went out at all. So the messages come in and we rely on those notifications. So we saw that we had to do an all points bulletin. So instead of doing that, we would just literally have agents they're always logged into the account, but just going account by account and seeing if there's a message in there every 15 minutes.
Just refresh. Yeah. That
Literally. And it's 2025 and like we're doing that in a Google account. Like, why do we need to do that? But that LSA does break. So it wasn't beyond the realm of possibility.
Wow, that's completely interesting. And the other thing is that Google's using AI to determine the charging of like a phone call.
Yeah.
So if you spend, say, more than 45 seconds on a call with a lead through the LSA call and they don't qualify, they're going to charge you anyway. So they are encouraging people to be rude.
Yeah. We're always talking to law firms about this because they want to optimize LSA message side. We always say on the phone call side, if you have a prospect, get them off the darn recording as fast as possible. Because then if you turn it down, I'd rather you turn them down outside of Google listening than have you have a conversation with them and then 10 minutes later turn it down. Get them off the Google, try to transfer it to a different line so the Google doesn't hear it as fast as possible. On the message front, what you want to do is if you're getting a lot of leads that are unqualified, first check your LSA account and make sure it's set up right. But 2, what we're doing now for more clients is we're affirmatively telling the client you can't help them. So if we say if we say something vague, I'll pass this along to the firm, we'll follow up, we can help you. You're getting charged for that.
Yeah.
If let's say it's a PI firm and a family law lead comes in, we'll affirmatively tell them, oh, this doesn't sound like a personal injury law. I'm not going to be able to help you with this. That increases the likelihood of them getting the refunds for that lead. The flip side of that is if they get too many refunds, and Google does it automatically now through AI, which is not great. But if they get too many refunds, all of a sudden you start noticing a decline in your rankings. So it's a mixed bag and all the cards are stacked in favor of Google, unfortunately. So we just got to play
Always.
Yeah.
Always. It's like the recommendations of PPC. You never turn those on. I've had people come to me and they just crash their entire ad because they accepted.
Yeah.
Google is up for Google's bottom line.
Yeah. Those recommendations always, hey, you should be doing broad match.
Yeah.
So you can come in for the least legal prospect that can ever come in. So it's garbage recommendations for sure.
That is crazy. All right. So let's get back to, I love what you're doing as being able to catch all of the text and chat for your clients. It just sounds like an absolute no-brainer to improve and increase the law firm. What would be the one takeaway that you would want attorneys, or the one thing that you want to say? I love the 30-day free, but to let them know why working with you can increase their bottom line.
Sure. We've grown at least 100% each year for the past 3 years. We work with some of the biggest law firms in the country. And we do that because we like working with firms that know their numbers. So if I say I'm going to get you 50% more leads and a firm says, well, I don't know how many leads I got last month. Okay, well, probably not a great fit because I rely on numbers. We're probably running about 30 A/B tests right now against different chat companies, against different scripts, against different colors and pop-ups. So we need to work with firms that know their numbers, because if we can't prove to you that 50% more leads matters, then we're not a good fit. So we're always working with firms that know their numbers and want to drive more cases. So the better a firm knows their numbers, the more effective we can be, because they can see the kind of case results we bring to them.
Very cool. Yeah, the fact that you customize all of the qualifications, all the questions, the entire chat for a firm, I think you're the only one I've ever talked to that's doing that. Because like you
Thanks.
said, the other companies say we will, but they never do.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that with clients as well. It's like, how many times do I need to tell you this is not an appropriate question? This is what's going to be asked. It's crazy. So I love that you customize everything, and your speed to lead is something that is so very important this day.
Yeah,
Very
I
cool.
think what we see is if it takes us 30 seconds to answer a chat, we've already lost 40% of chatters. 30 seconds isn't a long time, but in the chat world, that's a daytime. So it's all about speed to lead. And then the next part that we don't control that we're trying to figure out how to solve now is once we get the firm on the getting the firm to pick up the phone call when we call them with that lead. So once we hand that lead off, it's paramount the firm have someone available to take that lead right away, especially if it's a car accident or a big case. Like you can't give that prospect a chance to talk to another firm. So being able to follow up on the back end is just as important as the front end that we handle for you.
The consumer-facing law firms are catching people on their worst day or a really bad time in their life, so they need to solve that issue. Whether it's your 19-year-old got arrested for drinking and driving, and it's the parents like anything to get him out of jail right now. Absolutely. Speed to lead is incredible and incredibly important.
Yeah.
Wow. This has been an incredible conversation. I tell you, if anybody's looking to improve their bottom line, definitely reach out. And how can everybody reach out to you and learn more about you, connect with you?
Sure. Go to juvoleads.com, start a chat on our website.
I love it. We'll make sure we have that in the show notes. And definitely, guys, reach out to him if you're looking to improve your bottom line by making your chats actually revenue generating. Ted, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this conversation.
It was great having me on. Great being on the show today, Marilyn. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining me today for this episode. As we wrap up, I'd love for you to do two things. First, subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you find value here, I'd love it if you would rate it and review it. That really does make a difference in helping other people to discover this podcast. Second, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to keep up with what I'm currently learning and thinking about. And if you're ready to take the next step with a digital strategist to help you grow your law firm, I'd be honored to help you. Just go to lawmarketingzone.com to book a call with me. Stay tuned for our next episode next week. Until then, as always, thanks for listening to Leadership in Law Podcast, and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss the next episode.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Leadership in Law Podcast. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of law firm owners out there facing similar challenges and striving for the same success. Head over to our website at lawmarketingzone.com. From there, connect with other listeners, access valuable resources, and stay up to date on the latest episodes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, keep leading with vision and keep growing your firm.